And we are back. I am the Dadadpanther, and today we are going to talk about Scavengers. I got a chance to play test this when they were doing a closed beta recently. Saw the trailer, it grabbed me. I had to know more. So here's what I got. First impressions, kalika-lika-low. So let's just jump right into it. Scavengers. Game popped up on my radar while watching the Game Awards, and I saw this trailer and I was like, for some reason I want to play this game. It looked good. I liked the idea of what they were trying to do, and it felt familiar for some reason. Didn't know why at the time. Went ahead and, like I said in the previous video, was the devs or the team over there did a great job of getting me into this beta after having, I guess, some issues with the email, whatever. And so I'm able to play the beta. Now, this is my first impression of playing the beta or their playtesting for Scavengers. I played it on PC, got a really good machine. I am not going to mention any bugs or any glitches or anything of that nature. There are going to be some stuff like that in a build like this. Again, this is not the final version. I don't even think there's a date for this, and I believe there will be more open betas or closed betas in the near future. So without further ado, again, let's get into it. So Scavengers, again, first impressions. I'm going to probably mess up the terminology on what they mean for this world or this universe, but apparently you're on this planet. This planet is messed up. I don't know why this planet is messed up, but it's messed up. And I'm pretty sure there'll be some type of storyline that tells you all that stuff. But the planet is messed up. It is icy cold. And you have this robot with you called the Keeper, and Mother has sent you here. I don't know who Mother is, but it does sound cool that Mother sent you here. Now, Mother sent you here with 2 other players. Now, that's 3 people on the map that's a part of your team, and your job is to, it sounds weird, kill each other and or collect data for Mother. And we all know how demanding moms could be at times. So, all right, fine, you got me. Now, when you get to this land, you kind of just, it's similar to any game where it's a battle royale where you're jumping in off of a rocket, a bus, whatever the case is. You find your spot on the map. It gives you a few minutes to kind of get your stuff together. Now, I'm big on, when I try a game for the first time, the first 15 to 30 minutes are crucial to me, because it's like, how do they design the tutorial to be like, hey, how the buttons work, the look of the game, the pace of the game, sound, all that other stuff. And it was eye-catching. Even for the state that the game is in, the game looked good. And basically what it is like you're going through these homes, post-apocalyptic, homes, scavenging, it's in the title, for material, whether it's band-aids, whether it's melee weapons. So like you've got crossbows, you've got axes, you've got things of that nature, bats with spikes on them. I don't know what the reference is on that, wink wink. And you're doing this for a certain amount of time before eventually your team needs to head out and do what Mother asks you to do. So as you're going on this big, huge map, and this map is huge, think of some of the top multiplayer PvP games, and it seems like it's on par for something that big. And you're going through and you find these like data mining areas where it's like a crystal, and you tell your Keeper, which is the drone, that, hey, I need to break this down. And while it's doing that, the element that is added to it, if you haven't bumped into it already, is there's NPCs all over the map. And these NPCs they've got this virus that has turned them from looking somewhat human or animal-like to whatever the heck this is. So you got to kill these things that are trying to kill you, plus you're data mining, I guess, this resource. Now, when you're playing the game, there's teams. The teams have points. Those are the data points. You can dump those points into I guess a data station, and you save those points for your team, or you run the risk of running out there and seeing PvP people. Yes, PvP people are on the exact same map as the PvE experience. So that would make this, I guess, a PvPvE. Yeah, it's a whole new world. Like, yeah, exactly. So that was interesting. That was fun. And then I don't know why I didn't click the first time I landed. This reminds me of the Division 1. The Division 1 has a mode. I have yacht. I don't know, yacht is not a word. I have yet to play this mode. It's called Survival. Now, I just bought this mode maybe a few days before I saw this trailer. So I'm gonna get a chance to play that and then come back to this and maybe do another beta, whatever. But basically in Division 1, you're surviving and you're worrying about the temperatures. You're trying to scavenge for stuff. At the same sense, you're in the dark zone, so there is PvP content and PvE. Similar enough, but this still does its own thing. There are storms that come across, and these storms intensify as the match continues. Each match that I've done so far has felt like it's about 35 to 45 minutes. Now, when you see another player on the map, you have a choice. You can either interact with that player or team, or pay that no attention, which is awesome because that means you have a different strategy you can do. If you want to camp, if you want to, I don't know, survive, which is the basis of the game. So while you're doing that, you're collecting these points. You can, again, bank these points so they don't go anywhere, or risk losing the points if you die in any shape or form. And you got storms. Storms can drop down your health. You can freeze to death. You can run out of stamina, which hurts your ability to fight off enemies and things of that nature. But at some point, there's this crazy alarm thing that's happening. And there's a drop ship, okay? A drop ship is going to land somewhere on the map. And that is where everybody needs to go. Because it does not matter how many points you have. If you don't go to this drop ship, it won't count. So everybody on the map, regardless who's there, is heading to this drop ship. Now, there are mountains, there are plains. On the mountains or any slopes, you can slide, similar to Apex Legends. That's awesome. That's cool. That's a pretty cool feel too. So you're doing that. You also have vehicles. For the vehicles that I bumped into, I believe you got to spend some type of resource. So again, you're constantly farming, you're constantly scavenging for items. Now, when you get to this drop ship, yeah, that's when it goes down. Because just because you're in the drop ship doesn't mean you've won or survived anything. Whatever teams are there, regardless how many data points they have, they're fighting for survival. So they're going to try to kill you, and you got to do the exact same. Or do you? I was able to be on a team. It wasn't my doing. They carried me. I mean, there were people in there with their levels. I mean, a high level of gameplay on a beta. They're out here grinding, and I was the noob. So we actually won a match by not shooting. We literally just hid, and then when it took off, we had enough points and we ended up winning anyway. So that's another strategy. But for the most part, every match I played, once you got into this drop ship and mother was like, hey, look, the ship's gonna leave, get in the minivan, we're gonna leave, everybody's trying to kill each other. And whoever is left, and you collect their data mine points or their data points again, and once the ship takes off, that's it. That's your winner. Now, there's some cool elements. For instance, each character that you can control has special abilities and special weapons, which reminds me of a game like Apex Legends, which I mentioned earlier. I think at the beginning of the game, you're able to unlock that weapon or that special ability, but you have to farm and put together resources so that you can get your special weapon unlocked. The character that I liked, I don't remember the name. Again, this is the first impression, and I might not remember the name on the next video, but he was a heal build, I believe, and you had me at medic, you had me at heal. So it was cool because I could make a shield and keep people up whenever we had an oh crap moment. And the other thing I could do is I could revive somebody who had died that might not have been close enough to pick up, as long as I activated that ability. So it was cool. Again, I'm gonna play it a little bit more. I'm kind of running out of time because the beta is almost done and I came in here late. So Scavengers, first impressions, me likey. Okay, so I'm gonna this is now on my radar. And there's another game called Outriders, which was on my radar as well. It's still on my radar, but this one is more on my radar. So I'll keep my eye on it. If I hear anything about it, I'll let you know. Until next time, kalika-lika-lao.